How are we doing? Lovely to see so many people online. It's great to be in the PIN community again. It's been an odd few months, isn't it? So anyway, who am I? I'm Edward. It's, Edward from Chelton Brown. We're a Northamptonshire-based lettings and estate agent. We look after around about 1,500 properties on the letting side of things in the county. And some people would call me boring. I call myself passionate for property. Love lettings, and hopefully some of that comes across today. So my sort of motto for PIN is, like a good accountant, I always try and tell people what they can do rather than what they can't. If you do have any questions, as has already been said, pop it in the comments. Hopefully we can come back to it at the end and get everything covered off. So I've been on a few sort of Zoom meetings similar to this with Arla. There's been some really good updates. Again, there's been loads of stuff posted online. So hopefully we can sort of cut through some of the nonsense and get down to the facts. So first thing is Section 21s, the serving of notice. So Section 21s are a way of ending a tenancy by giving the tenant 2 months notice. Historically, that was the case anyway. Under the Coronavirus Act 2020, that has been changed to 3 months. So you can still serve notice on a tenant, although you're having to give them 3 months notice now. Make sure if you are serving a Section 21, you're sending it with all the correct documents, how to rent guide, gas certs, EPCs, the general sort of prescribed information, but make sure you're getting an up-to-date 6A form, which has the relevant updates on it. A bit of a hot topic this as well in the office. There's been a lot of chat about the banning of Section 21s and will they eventually get abolished. If I'm being completely honest with my cynical head on, this could be sort of the start that we start to have a look at the system of how notice is served and maybe banning Section 21s. If that is the case, there will have to be a complete redraft to the Housing Act. That's not something that's going to happen overnight. I, for one, see, particularly from investors' point of view, there'd have to be new Section 8 grounds put in place that would allow someone to serve notice if they wanted to sell a property. Otherwise, you're locked into your investment indefinitely. You're effectively going back to the days where you gave out assured tenancies rather than more modern ASTs. So moving on to EICRs. EICRs are an electrical check on the properties to make sure they're safe. As a company, we've always said under our management agreement, you have to have one if you're going to let us manage the property. It's best practice, but as of next month, they are coming a legal requirement. So for any new properties, any new tenancies going in, you will have to have an EICR in place. To give you an idea on cost, every letting agent or managing agent is going to be different. We charge 120 quid, that gets everything done. So that's sort of the ballpark figure you'll be looking at. It lasts for 5 years. And what it does is it basically safeguards you against injuring your tenants if there was an accident. The blame is sort of shifted away from yourself. You've done best practice and it's passed over to the electrician who should have done the job properly. So as I say, something landlords always should have had. It's a good thing for me. 120 quid for 5 years of cover isn't a bad investment as far as I'm concerned. Right to rent. So right to rent is checks that need to be done by a landlord or letting agent to make sure that your tenant has the right to reside in the UK. The regulations around it have been relaxed during lockdown. Historically, you have to see original copies of the documents. This has been relaxed to see sort of virtual copies. So, someone could hold their passport up next to their face and sort of show it was them. We use a really great system, which we've always done for sales, but we've now integrated that to our letting side. The system's called Credus. It's an online verification tool. Again, it indemnifies you against getting anything else wrong. The applicant has to hold their passport up next to them, touch their nose, touch their ear, just to verify they're not holding 2 pictures up. So it's a good system. Again, all of that stuff gets printed off and you're good to go. And then I guess the last thing to talk about is the volume. It has gone absolutely mad, which I love. We've been quiet for 3 months. I've had so much energy ready to go out, doing valuations, doing viewings, and it has come back on really strong. I'm reading reports this morning that the number of lets and the number of sales are up 138% on the previous 2 months, which is fantastic. How long this will last for, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too pessimistic. I personally think once the furlough schemes come to an end, there'll be a lot of employers looking at staff retention and whether or not there'll be redundancies, we'll be yet to see. I personally think if you are thinking of sale, now is a good time to sell up. You're potentially going to be in a cash-rich position when the market may turn. That means your money's going to go further. You're going to get more for your investment. So I always like to give something out whilst I'm at PIN. So I'm offering a free landlord checklist and consultation. Give me a buzz. I'll put my details on in a moment. We'll go through some checklists and stuff with you over the phone. I'll send you a couple of copies. They're fantastic if you're a first-time landlord, just to make sure that you're doing everything above board and not going to get yourself in trouble. And the next thing is a free COVID-19 assessment form. So we're getting all our landlords, vendors, applicants for both lettings and sales to fill them in. It just safeguards us. It safeguards the applicants to make sure that we're not putting anyone in danger. So well worth doing. You know, take precautions where you can. Use your head. You know, we're not doing viewings on tenanted properties at the moment. Again, you're just putting more people in risk than you need to. So happy to send anyone those that wants them, and contact details are here. So as I said, not Northampton based, but I do work within the Guild of Property Professionals, who are 800 independent agents that work up and down the country. You know, doesn't matter where you are, I will find a good, reputable agent in your area, and we'll make sure they look after you. There's my details. Thanks very much, guys.